Hello, hello, hello. So we should be live, I think. So let's give this a shot. Should be live on YouTube at least. Cool. Let me just double check that we are actually live. It looks like it. Just want to make sure the audio is working. Test, test, 1, 2. Oh no, audio is not working. All right, so let's see if we can fix this. Oh wait, no, it is working. Cool. So we're going to go live on Facebook here in a second. So give me like 5 seconds and then we will go ahead and get started. So let me flip these around and we're going to go live on Facebook as well. All right. So we are live. I just wanted to make sure and check the audio here. It is working on YouTube, and so let's just double check that it's working on Facebook. And then we're going to go ahead and get started here. So let's go ahead and refresh here. We are going to be talking about the 4 types of videos you need to do a pre-launch. So I'm really, really excited for it. So let's make sure this is working. Cool. So that's working there. One more check and we're going to get started. Can't wait. So excited. And there's already people watching. Cool. And I didn't even announce we were doing anything today. All right, so let's try this. Cool. All right, guys. So it is a little overexposed on Facebook, but maybe we can change that. Hold on. Maybe we just do that. See if that's a little bit better. Okay, cool. So here's what we're going to talk about today. I'm really, really excited. This is kind of an unannounced live stream that we're doing. We're actually streaming it right here to my Facebook group. We're streaming it right here to my Facebook page, and we're streaming it right here to YouTube. So we're actually streaming in 3 different places. Now, what we're going to do today is talk about the 3 different pre-launch videos that you need when you want to create and launch your digital course. Over the last year, we've really been diving into this strategy. And here's a couple stats on what it's been able to do for us and what it could possibly do for you. It's been able to us to launch new products before we even create them. It allows us to sell them, get 9 times our investment back, meaning like every $10 we put into ads, we got $90 in return. Every $1,000 we made $9,000. It's allowed us to also build our email list, build our following, build remarketing audiences, and the most important thing is create demand for our products before we even go and launch them. And I think that's the most important thing here, and that's what most people miss, is that they just go and they run ads or to their list or whatever and just assume like, oh, these people know me so they're going to buy. It doesn't always work out like that. And so what we've done is we fine-tuned this system and this process of creating demand for our product before we even do it. Now, I want to go ahead and combat a couple objections that people are going to have right now, or things that like common beliefs that people have in their head. And this probably is the same stuff that you're probably thinking right now, which is, I have to create my product before I launch it. I can't sell something until it's made. Or that my product is so good and I already know that people want it that I don't even need to do anything other than just tell them it's available. And that's completely wrong. I recommend that if you're going to launch a course, you actually sell it and launch it before you ever sell it. And there's a couple reasons why. The number one reason why is because you can actually like make money up front before you sell it. It validates your idea, and that you don't really risk a lot. You go and sell it, you tell them that it's coming, it's in beta mode, it's halfway done, partly done, and it allows you to get feedback. It allows you to adjust and change your marketing so that when it's fully ready, You've already made some sales. You already got feedback. Now you have testimonials and social proof that it works. And then you go launch it full force. Now, when you do beta launches, you can still do really well. We've done beta launches that have done over 6 figures in revenue where products are halfway done. We've also done and sold boot camps selling 5 figures in revenue, basically saying like, hey, in the next 6 weeks, we're going to do some webinars teaching you X, Y, and Z. And we pre-sold it before we ever released it and launched it, and we've done really well with that. Also, then we take those recordings and turn into products. So my biggest thing right now is I'm going to teach you today how you can go and get like 9 times your revenue, how you can build your email list, launch your product, and build your following at the same time. And that's what most people don't realize, is that what we're going to show you here with launching is not just about selling. It's actually growing your following. You get people opting into your email list, to your webinars. So we've done launches where we've built our email list by 4,000 people in like a 2-week span. We've built Facebook groups from 1,000 to beyond, all by launching. So talk about like getting paid to build your email list, build your following. This stuff has a lot to do with it. And so I want to get into it right now. The number one thing you need when you, or the number one video I recommend if you're just starting out and you're not really sure exactly what you want to launch, or you already have a little bit of a following already, I recommend that you start with motivational thought reversal videos. Now, if you don't know what this is, look at Gary Vaynerchuk. Sunny Lenarduzzi also has a few of these on her channel. But basically, these are videos that can get your audience in the right frame of mind before you launch a product. Meaning that if you know their mindset has to change a little bit, or you know they have to be on a certain wavelength or thought process, you can actually use this to get them to go, yes, 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 I agree, I want this, I want this, I want this. One of the ways we did this is Sunny Lenarduzzi and I partnered up and we created a program called Boss Video Branding, and we sat there and thought about like, how can we change the mindset people have before they enter into our webinar? And this is before we even created the product. We were creating the product as we developed it and we launched it, but we said, you know what? We need people to realize that they need to take action now, and that they can create whatever they want, and that is possible. Like, it's a real thing. Like, you can go and create the life and the business that you want. And so what we did is we did a series of 3 videos. Video number 1 was a motivational thought reversal video that basically said like, you know, building the business you want isn't hard, but it does take work. And just because it takes work doesn't mean it's hard. And there are people right now that know less than you do that are making 6 and 7 figures online, blah, 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 blah. This was a motivational thought reversal video. Now, thought reversal videos are kind of like what Gary Vaynerchuk does, where you take a common thought and then you give a new way to look at it, which is what we did. We said, you know, work isn't hard. And if you think it is, it's just because you haven't done it yet. And we flipped it on people. And so we use this formula here, where you take a common thought, you give a new way to look at it, the new view, you back it up, you talk about what you've been able to do or what other people have been able to do, basically bringing credibility to your new view. What's going to happen if they don't adapt, and if they agree with it, then they follow you to your call to action. And in most cases, this can go to a Facebook group. And this is how we started building the Facebook group before we launched. And we've also done this with the New Generation Entrepreneur Facebook group. We're actually streaming right now as well. And we've done this with Boss Video Branding. We've done it with a few other types of videos. But basically the way Gary Vaynerchuk does this is he'll say something like, he takes a common thought, which is, you know, like success means going to school. And he'll give a new way to look at it. And he'll say something like, most people think that success means getting a good job, going to a school, and getting your degree and working a successful 9-to-5 job. So that's a common thought in the industry, or wherever, you know, common thought. The new view is, I think that's complete garbage, because the most unhappy people I've ever seen in my life are the ones who are stuck in a dead-end job. Plus, statistically, only 80% of people don't even use their degree. And so he's kind of shifting into the new view. It's like the new view, or what we recommend for people, is to just go out and be able to create the life and the business that you want. There's never been a time in history where you could actually go start a blog, start a YouTube channel, start an Instagram page, and actually make a 6-figure income. But that is completely real now. Okay, so now we gave the new view. We back it up. There are people right now that are running basketball blogs that are talking about video marketing, that are talking about this and that, that are actually making 6 and 7 figures, that are putting in the work and actually doing it. So he's kind of you would back it up. And what's going to happen if you don't adapt? And listen, you don't have to take my advice, but if you do, you're just going to keep going to that same job that you hate day in and day out. And where's that going to leave you, right? So now we're getting into what's going to happen if they don't adapt. And then is that you? And if that's you, great. Look, I can't help you. But if you're the person who does want to go and start something and create something and make your own revenue, then join us in our Facebook group or opt in for this or get on our waiting list for this product we're about to launch. So that's how thought reversal and motivational videos work. Now, when we did this with Boss Video Branding, we released a second video. We said, if you watch video number 1, we're going to show you video number 2. Video number 2 was about taking action. So we said, okay, now people know it's possible. Why don't we get them to realize that they have to do it now? So we said, now is the time to create. Now is the time to step into your power. Now is the time to do this. If you don't take action now, your dreams will stay dreams. But if you take action now, they will turn into reality. Something along those lines. So now we've gotten people to realize, hey, it's possible. And they love the message. They share the message. And 2, we've gotten people to realize that they have to do it now. And then all of a sudden the third video moves into like, hey, here's what we've been able to do. Here's what I stand for. Here's what I believe in. Get into our webinar where we can show you how to do this and do it so it's not hard and so that you can take action now. Okay, so let me check in real quick on Facebook to see if we have any questions or comments here. I'm also going to check the audio, make sure that's still rolling good. Cool. All right, so it's still a little overexposed on Facebook, but that's A-okay. So let's... Okay, cool. Paul on Facebook is like, hey, Brandon, you're going live from the beach in Jamaica? That would be nice. But I think he's cracking a joke at the fact that my example here. So anyways, again, if you guys, we're going into full launch mode, teaching you how to create and launch your own products. My mentor, James Wedmore, has free training right now that you guys can get above or below this video. But what I'm really diving into today is the pre-launch strategy, because this literally shifted the way that we launch products, the way we create products, and the way we almost practically guarantee we're going to get sales on our products before we even launch it. So there's going to be 2 types of people. You're either going to be one that has a following already and you don't have a following. I always recommend to kind of start with this, especially if you don't really have a following. But I also recommend that you start with the how-to video content, because after you start the pre-launch phase, I'm going to show you the next phase over here. We're going to get here in a second. That's going to show you how you can actually ensure that you're creating something that people want and you have the right messaging behind it so that you can practically guarantee sales. Like if you follow the process we're going to lay out for you today, it's literally almost impossible for you not to get sales. So why don't we hop into that? Oh, by the way, we run these on Facebook. You can put them on YouTube and run them as YouTube videos too. But the way we run these is on Facebook. You run it as an ad with the objective of video views, and you can literally get views for like a penny. So you can build up huge audiences for really cheap. Every $100 you spend is going to bring you, is it 1,000 or 10? It's either 1,000 or 10,000 views. And the beautiful part is when you go to run ads or you want to market your product to people, you can actually say, hey, if anyone watched any of these pre-launch videos that are in the right frame of mind now, let me run ads to them. And that way they're entering your sales funnel already, like wanting what you're going to be talking about. Okay, and this is really where the how-to comes in too. Like the demand is really created here. Like if you really want to dive into creating demand for your product before you launch, really go into the how-to videos. So I'm going to give you a couple ways this works. Let's use a dentist, for example. If I was working with a dentist and he wanted to sell his or her, if he or her wanted to sell their teeth cleaning services, what I would actually do, and this is kind of counterintuitive, but I would actually run a video to the local audience explaining what they need to do in order to clean their teeth at home or to whiten their teeth at home, right? Like let's say it's a teeth whitening service. I would actually run how-to contents like, hey, I'm dentist so-and-so from Thousand Oaks, California, and today we're going to teach you how to whiten your teeth at home. Now it seems counterintuitive because we're going to be selling a teeth whitening product or service to them. So why would we teach it to them? Well, I'll explain to you right now. So basically what we would do is then go and say, okay, step one, you're gonna need, and I don't know how to whiten teeth, so I'm just gonna make this up, but step one, you need to take lemon juice and baking soda and mix it together. Step number two is to put it on a toothbrush and lather it into your teeth and let it sit for 5 minutes. Step number three is to rinse with cold water. And step number four is to repeat this process 2 times a day for the next week. And you will notice your teeth will gradually start whitening, okay? And then I would end with, and again, if you want to come in and visit us, just or get a special for our services, click the link below, enter your email address, and we'll send you a new special for if you're a new customer. Something like that, right? So the objective with this video is not to really collect emails or to build up, like get customers at this point. The pre-launch phase is not about like gaining a huge audience and a huge email list and a huge Facebook group. This is really about getting people in the right frame of mind. Now, you should still have a call to action because that's going to allow you to get some of that stuff. But the goal is to get people in the right frame of mind, establish yourself as the authority, and then what happens is you can advertise to them later now that they're conditioned for your offer, okay? So basically what we would do there is then a week later, I would actually tell Facebook, hey, Facebook, let me run an ad to anyone who watched this teeth whitening video, and let me run a special for my teeth whitening service. So basically what I did is I run a bunch of content, or even live streams like this, to my local audience, talking about how to whiten their teeth, and then magically, a week later, a special for my teeth whitening service pops up into the newsfeed. Click the link below and claim it. So it's kind of like what Gary Vaynerchuk talks about, where there's the right jab hook, or whatever it is, or the hook, right? Whatever his saying is where you give value, and then you come in with the offer. That's exactly what we're doing here, but we're very specific with how we're giving people that value, okay? So when we relate this back to products, I look at what are the biggest common problems that my industry is going to have. Like the people in my niche, what are they going to have? What does my product solve for them? And I actually create how-to content on that and run it to them before we ever go into a launch. So if I know that my product is going to help, video professionals have more recurring and revenue and consistency in their business, which my product, Local Video Academy, does, I'll actually create how-to content to local video professionals and say, hey, look, I know what the biggest problem you have. It's that you hop from job to job to job to job, and there's no consistency. It's a constant hustle. Here's what we did to fix that problem. We started incorporating marketing on the videos we produce for people so that we could charge monthly recurring revenue, and I ended that constant hustle and struggle of finding new customers. And you guys can do the same thing. So now what happened is I taught how-to content. I helped solve the problem by telling them what they're going to do. And then guess what? Magically, 2 weeks later, they see an ad of, hey, want to learn the process of creating recurring revenue for your business so you don't have to go constantly hunt down new clients every single month? Well, guess what? 2 weeks prior to this, I already told them that they need to be doing that. Light bulbs went off. I established myself as the authority. Now they're warm traffic. That's not cold traffic anymore. And now it's warm traffic, and they're moving into seeing me as this person who's going to solve their problem. They go down into our webinars, our video series, our whatever, already knowing that they need what I'm going to sell them. And it makes the process 10 times more effective. And the beautiful part of this is on the how-to videos, I can say, hey, if you want to learn more of this and join our community with other local people trying to fix this problem, go join our Facebook group. So at the same time, I'm building remarketing audiences, I'm creating demand, and I'm building my Facebook group all at the same time. And our Facebook group for this is almost 4,000 people now. So again, then I'm creating sales on it, which means I'm actually getting paid to grow my Facebook group, grow my email list, and create remarketing audiences. And this is how we've been able to turn 250,000 people that never heard of me before into warm traffic before we go into a launch. And every launch builds that audience bigger and bigger and bigger. And guess what? In between launches, we're continuing pushing out this content and running it to people because we have a very rare opportunity right now where Facebook video ads are so cheap because there's a huge demand from Facebook where they're trying to push video, yet no one is really taking advantage of it. And right now, you and you and you, so you and you, have a very unique opportunity to be able to go in right now and start running content, building audiences, and creating demand for your product before you ever sell it. And so when you do this as a beta launch before the product is ever created, it becomes so easy to go ahead and be successful with it. Now I'll show you guys what the next step is after we go through this. The next one is your story. So if you don't have a Facebook group and don't really have an email list yet, your story is probably the video you should start with. But your story needs to relate back to your audience. Meaning for me, I tell my story of how I started a video marketing business and I struggled for the first 2 years of business. I lived with my in-laws. I didn't have the right mentorship. I didn't even think I needed mentorship. For me, nothing really changed until I met James. And James is actually the one who I learned a lot of launching products. And then from there, we developed this pre-launch strategy as well. So again, if you guys want to learn the full thing of launching courses, like you want to learn how to do webinars, you want the actual email swipe files, and you want to learn the process of like idea to beta launch to relaunch to all that stuff, make sure you get in James's free video series he has going on right now. The link is above or below this video, depending on where you're going to be watching it. Okay, so so yeah, your story video, you want to relate it back to your audience, which means that what you need to do is don't just tell your story for the sake of telling your story. Look at who your audience is, look at what you're going to probably be selling them down the road and relate it back to there. So when I tell my story, it always relates back to the common problems I had, because I know those are the common problems that my target audience is going to have, what I did to overcome them so that they know it's possible and they know what they need to do. And it could be things like find a mentor, buy education, put things into action and have like those experiences is really what shifted it for me. And so when I relate it back to them, I'm kind of preparing them for like, hey, why don't you buy a course down the road, or why don't you find a mentor like myself that can show you how to do that. So obviously I don't say that to try to like sell. Like I don't lie in order to make more sales like that. You have to be ethical with the way you tell your story, but always try to relate it and leave things out if you need to, that if it doesn't completely relate to your audience. So look at your audience, look at what you're going to sell, and trying to formulate your real, authentic story that connects in the best way it can to your audience, and then run them into a Facebook group or a email list. Now, your Facebook group is probably going to be the #1 asset that you have when launching a product or a course. So if you're getting ready to launch a product or course, you don't have a Facebook group, now is the time to start it, because you can do crazy things like pull your audience, find out what they want, what their biggest struggles are, what you should name your product, what type of content you should create inside of your product, and all sorts of cool things. So again, James talks about that in his training. You guys can get it, the link here, the link below. And coming soon, we're going to be giving you guys a whole pre-launch, access to whole pre-launch training. I'm not going to be selling it, but I'm going to be giving it away to you guys. My team will come in and build some videos for pre-launch videos for you. You're going to get full training, Facebook training, all of the stuff on setting this up. That's going to come out on Monday, so stay tuned for all of that. By the way, if you're watching this on Facebook from this camera right here, you're probably going to get remarketed with my stuff. Like this is this video is a pre-launch to my pre-launch training stuff that we're going to be giving away to you guys in a couple days. So last final piece of the pre-launch content that you should be using. After we go through this one, what we'll do is go into the actual process of launching and using this pre-launch on where to send everyone, how to make sure it's effective, and how to create demand. Okay? So live videos are essentially these. That's essentially what I'm doing right now. We pick one common theme and we kind of deep dive into it. We answer questions. Speaking of which, I should probably see if there are any more questions. Oh, Paul said he's joining me from the beach in the Bahamas. There we go. Awesome, man. Welcome. Cool. So let me see if we have any questions before we move on to the last and final piece of this, and then lay out the formula for you. Okay. So I don't see any questions. Perfect. So if you guys do have questions, I'm not sure how to look them up on YouTube. So you're watching from YouTube. Oh, wait. Oh, man, there's a lot of comments on YouTube. Okay. So someone said, when does the class start? It starts now. It's a free live training. Oh, Jess is here. Hey, Jess. How's it going? Jess Creatives is here. Andy is here. Wow, streaming all over. Yeah, we're streaming in 3 different places right now. Someone asked, what is your take on posting on Daily Motion site? I don't believe you should post on Dailymotion. I say Facebook and YouTube. Um, and he's like, why? Facebook is a great place to promote your products. My videos get more views on Facebook than YouTube. Yeah, you guys should be posting on YouTube and on Facebook. Like if you want to grow in both places, you absolutely need to be doing both. We take our YouTube content, repurpose it for Facebook. So when we are in between launches, I'm constantly pushing content to build up my remarketing audiences. We really dive into how-to, because how-to generally creates a lot of demand. And you know if someone's watching your entire how-to video, you know exactly what their problems are. Like if I did how to batch all of your videos in one day, then I know that person wants to learn and is struggling with how they should be producing a lot of content. So guess what? I can then run them to a product or a boot camp on how to stream their videos. Like how to content is probably one of the most valuable pieces of content you can have, because if someone watches it all the way through, then you know exactly what their problem is. And this leads me into the second part of this training, is that pre-launch content can actually work as a filtering system for your product. So how many of you guys are selling, like I can't see show of hands, so this is stupid, but how many of you guys are selling more than one product? Like for me, I sell products on Facebook video and I sell products on YouTube video. And so like I can actually push content to people. Let me see if this is still working. Give me 1 second, hold on. Okay, so I can actually push content that talks about YouTube video and say, hey, if someone watches this video on about how to use YouTube for your business, then run them to my webinar on how to grow your business using YouTube. But if they watch all my Facebook kind of content, I can then run them to an offer that says like, here's my offer on how to use Facebook video. So you can use content as a filtering system to then trigger different audiences and products. Like how-to content is, I think, the most powerful pieces of content that you can have, because they literally are just telling you what they want. It's pretty awesome. So let's move on to the next piece of this. Live video, you just do what we're doing right now. You just get in front, you talk, but be to the point. If you know any NLP and persuasion and copy type stuff, definitely use that in your videos. Like you want to hook them right in the beginning. You want to lay out the possibility of what's possible for them. You want to lay out all of this types of stuff. And it's kind of what I'm doing here. I'm letting you guys know what's possible. I talked about our 9 times our investment. I talked about how we created demand, built our email list, built our Facebook group at the same time. And we're able to launch products before they're created, make money, build our following, and do all of that at the same time. Like if you guys really want to grow a following and you want to make money at the same time, then you have to launch. Like most people don't realize this. When you launch products and you use paid advertising, you literally go from like growth like this to growth like that. Like it's just unbelievable. I think over the last year, we've probably brought on like an extra 15,000 emails to our email list. We've grown Facebook groups, several Facebook groups into the thousands. So probably another 15,000 people in all of our combined Facebook groups we've done because of launching. And we've made, I won't tell you all our numbers or whatever, but we've definitely done like multiple 6 figures in sales, especially in the last 6 months, all using launching and selling, because it just puts your growth in all categories on hyperspeed. But most people don't do this. Most people are afraid of launching. Most people are afraid of spending money or losing money, but they don't see the possibility of what you can gain and how fast you can grow when you actually launch with paid advertising and you use the pre-launch strategy. So let's move into the last and final piece of this, and I will answer questions. So if you guys do have questions, I will be checking them on Facebook and I will be checking them on YouTube. So let me just check to see if we have any more questions or if we don't have any more questions. Okay. Cool, it's working there. So let's do one more check on YouTube. And then we're gonna get into the last piece of this. Okay. All right, cool. So the last piece of this, let's go ahead and erase this. Take a picture, screenshot, or just pause the video if you're watching this recording. Okay, so, for the how-to videos, what we wanna do is we wanna tell them what they're gonna learn. Hey, in this video, you're gonna learn X, Y, and Z, logo reveal, branding, and then your content, step 1, step 2, step 3. Your call to action, hey, go in our Facebook group, whatever. So here's the way it works. is we do our pre-launch types of videos. Those are the 4 videos that I recommend everyone starts with. And you should do at least one, but if I had to give a number, I would say try to do like 3 to 4 of these before you go into a launch, and always be pushing content, especially on Facebook, from your business page if you really want to take full advantage of this. So let me move this mic over. So here's basically what happens is we do pre-launch. Again, these pre-launch videos create demand. They build remarketing audiences. They build our Facebook group, and they do all sorts of really cool stuff. We typically pay 1 cent per review when we target cold traffic. This means that we're targeting people who have never heard of us before, but we know our target audience. So now what we're doing is we're warming up cold traffic, like people have never heard of us, and turning it into warm traffic, but warm traffic that now knows what problems that they need to fix, and those are going to be the same problems that our product solves. Okay, so pre-launch content. And even if you don't nail the formulas of this pre-launch content, it's okay. As long as you're running this to an audience that's never heard of you before, you're adding some kind of value, it's definitely going to help. Okay, so what we do is the pre-launch content, and then what we do is run them into either a Facebook group or an email list. I'm going to put Facebook group. And if you have a following already, you should be building your Facebook group. Inside your Facebook group, I typically will have a freebie or something that they can gain so that they get on your email list also. But with pre-launch content, my number one thing is get them into the Facebook group. Inside the Facebook group, we poll them and figure out what do they want? What kind of products do they need? What type of things are they looking for fixing? What kind of problems do they want solved? So for us in the past, this has been things like, I don't like to sell. How do I create videos that sell for me? So what do? We created a webinar called YouTube video, how to create YouTube videos that sell for you so you don't have to. So we literally created our USP, our name for the webinar, and our marketing funnel based off the feedback we got from our list. I want to create YouTube videos that sell for me because I don't want to sell. Okay, great. That's what we named the webinar. And guess what? Our product helps you do that. Okay, so other ways we've done this in the past with Boss of Your Branding, Sunny and I polled the group, and we realized, oh, people want to use video on social media to grow their following. So what do we call the webinar? The New Generation Video Marketing, how to grow your profitable audience 5 times faster, your profitable following 5 times faster than everyone else. We literally just ask people what they want, and that gives us all sorts of feedback on how to position our product, how to position our copy, how to position our USP, and all that stuff. And if you don't know what USP is, and you still kind of figuring out, like, how do I do a webinar, and how do I send emails, and how do we like create the product so that's what people want? Again, go to the training that James has either up or above this video, and it's and you can go through his free video series right now. It's live right now. Video 1 and 2 are already out. Video 3 is coming out soon if it is not out already. So go get that now, because James has literally taught me everything that I needed to know, got me to the level we're at right now with courses and stuff like that. And from there, we've developed a pre-launch strategy. And get ready, because on Monday, when Business by Design, which is James's course where he's giving you everything, excuse me, opens up, and you guys go through our link, I'm actually going to give you access to my team. We're going to give you access to our pre-launch training. We're going to give you access to NLP and persuasion coaching. We're going to give you, so you guys can learn how to pull people into your videos and things like that, how to script really effective video ads so that pulls people in and create content like that. We're going to give you webinar training, all sorts of cool stuff. Oh, and a mastermind, a 2-day mastermind with me. You guys can come out and meet me in person. I'm going to spend 2 days going through your business, mapping out your plan too. So make sure you guys get on the email list up there or down below, and stay tuned for Monday when we talk about these bonuses we have for you. So anyways, pre-launch content to the Facebook group. From inside the Facebook group, we poll. From the poll, we go into a beta launch. Before we even create the product, you sell it. Do a launch before it's created, and just tell people we're going to give you a 50% discount because it's not launched yet. You're going to be our founding members. You're going to be the ones giving us testimonials. You're going to be the ones helping us out and giving us feedback. So to thank you, we're giving you 50% off. And you form your beta group. Now, what's going to happen is when you start to sell products, you're going to realize how effective social proof and testimonials are to make sure that your product is legit, that people believe you, that you help with sale, like it can help with sales. All that stuff is really, really important. But what happens is if you're upfront and tell people like, look, we're creating this right now, it's not done. They basically will look past the fact that you don't have testimonials, because that's going to be a huge objection. Why are you launching this? There's no testimonials. How do we know it works? But what happens is when you actually release it as a beta and you tell them this is not created yet, the objection of no one has gone through this is not there. They understand that. And you're rewarding them with 50% off. And what happens is you then turn, let me go this way because this mic, I don't want to pull that camera over. What happens is that you do the beta launch, you get your feedback, you get your testimonials, and you launch your product again at a whole nother level. And so what we've done in the past is we've been able to launch products at beta, make good money, more sales than we thought would even come in. And then we relaunched it, and we were able to do more than double what we did on this launch, almost triple what we did on our beta launch. Because we had testimonials, we learned on feedback what worked, we knew how to position it even better, we had more of a following at this point. And what happens is in between launches, we continue to grow our following by putting out more content. So, does this make sense? I really wanted to teach you guys this pre-launch strategy because it literally changes the game and no one is really talking about it. We have this rare opportunity right now where Facebook is giving us incredibly cheap views, and you have to be taking advantage of it because it may not be this cheap forever. It will always be this effective, but it probably won't be this cheap. Like 1 cent views, even on YouTube views, and are just are available now because there's a huge market for it, but no one's really stepping in and doing it. So you guys have this rare opportunity that's probably not going to last very long, and I want to teach you how to just go in right now, build a huge email list, build a huge following, and get your product on going and launched and actually bringing in sales. So you don't have to worry about, are people going to buy it? Am I going to put all this time into it and create a product people don't want? Like, you literally find out how to sell to people and what words to use and get people into your groups and build your following while making money at the same time. And it's one of the easiest processes that I've ever done. And by the way, this works for sort of services too. Like we talked about the dentist and how you can do it for services. You can literally sell anything using this process. Just remember, it all starts with pre-launch videos that are going to be talking about a topic that you kind of want to sell later. Talk about problems that people are going to have. Give a little bit of solutions to problems. If you're going to launch a product, you go this route. If you want to sell your service, you can actually just like remarket to these people and do like a special offer, like what we talked about with the dentist. That's his offer. My handwriting is awful, but that's his offer. So again, with the dentist, if he's talking about how to clean your teeth with natural remedies, and then all of a sudden a week later it has a special for teeth whitening, then that's going to be way more effective because he just became the authority, show people how to whiten their teeth naturally, and then he's now making an offer for teeth whitening. Now, no one's going to watch that entire video about how to whiten your teeth naturally if they don't want to whiten their teeth, right? So now what we've done is conditioned people to see him as the authority. We now know that they want teeth whitening, and now we can run an offer to them. That way we're not just blindly running offers to everyone. So let me see if we have any feedback. If you guys love this, let me know. Like, leave a comment underneath this video. Give me some thumbs up or something just so I know that you love this. And again, make sure you go get the free launch training right now that James Wedmore has put out. James has been my mentor, who I've been able to learn from over the years of like launching products, and not just like small little products, but I'm talking like really big launches, and how we've been able to develop courses and online products and all sorts of stuff. So I'm going to check Facebook right now. Give me 1 second. Let's see. I'm trying to enter the password into the computer. Why is it not working? Let's try it one more time. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to refresh the page or see if there's any questions. And if not, I'll see you guys on the training. Get ready for our pre-launch bonus we're going to be giving you guys next week. It's probably one of the biggest bonuses I've ever given out to anyone. So let me refresh this and see what we have going on. All right. Thomas says, I'm trying to get to the gym, man. Your info is sucking me in. Audio is good, my friend. Good, good, good. That's what we want. That's what we want. We want to be able to suck you in. Okay, cool. So that's how you launch products. That's how you can figure out what your audience wants, because I know the biggest fears out there. I know the biggest fears are, I don't know what to sell my audience. I don't know how to position it to them. I don't know if they're going to want my product. I don't want to launch this and sales come in. Like, that's the biggest and scariest thing. What if we put all this time and money and effort into launching and trying to sell our course and nobody buys? Trust me, I've been there. I launched my first course to my audience. I built my following on YouTube, completely free, completely organic. I did my first webinar, had 80 people register for it, and did it. Sold a $200 product, and I had 0 sales at the end of the webinar. My wife calls me from work. She was supporting us at the time and says, how'd the webinar go? Is our life changed forever? Are we now selling products and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, no, we didn't get any sales. And you can hear it in her voice, because she didn't want to work anymore, of like this desperation, like, okay, you know, it's good. It'll be good. We're fine, we're fine, we're fine. You'll get it. We'll figure it out. An hour later, I got her first sale, and then another sale came in, and another sale came in, all after the webinar. And by the end of the month, we had closed $4,000 in sales. Now, the reason why it worked so well, because I didn't do a very good job with the webinar. I actually wrote out the entire script of the webinar and read the webinar word for word. Like, it was like 20 pages long. I had little inserts in there that said change, like, slide now. So I would like read, and hit a button, read, hit a button. Didn't listen to read comments or anything. And I didn't know how to do a very good webinar. And I still was able to close $4,000 in sales. And what I realized at the time, I realized now but didn't realize at the time, is the way I built my email list was actually my pre-launch content. So my pre-launch content talked about, like, how to rank videos, how to build more leads from YouTube, how to build more views on YouTube, that type of stuff. So what I was doing was attracting my target audience, establishing myself as the authority, conditioning them to realize there's a solution to your problem, except I did it over a course of like 6 months. And then what happened is I emailed them about this webinar, about how to rank videos. They attend this webinar on how to rank videos. And then I sold them a product on how to rank videos. And guess what? Like, that was my pre-launch strategy, but it took me 6 months. So what we can do now with Facebook advertising is don't have to take 6 months to build this pre-launch content. We can actually just do it in like a 2-week period and spend $100, $200. We spent up to $3,000 on pre-launch content before some of our launches. And so you guys can do that same thing. That's basically what's going to happen. Again, the pre-launch content can filter people into different offers and all sorts of crazy stuff. So I don't see any more questions. I think what we're going to do is go ahead and end this live stream. And if you guys do have questions, leave it underneath the if you're watching this one right now, leave questions underneath the YouTube video, and I'll answer them today and tomorrow. If you're watching it here, leave comments underneath this video. This video right now is going to be the one we're remarketing to. So if you're watching this, you're probably seeing our pre-launch. This is our pre-launch to our pre-launch. And if you're watching this one, hello entrepreneurs, the new generation entrepreneur. We're streaming this one inside our Facebook group right now. So wish me luck. I'm going to try to turn all 3 of these off right now. So let's see if this works. So